Hello, and welcome to Voluntold Detail. I am your host and narrator, Millennial Shipbird. And as always, if you're here to report me or go down to the comment section and report them, you're at the right place. So, this is a paper wrote in 2017 for Rally for Our Rights for Leslie Hollywood. She asked for a few sentences. That's not what I did. And understandably, only a few people skimmed through it. And since then, only a few people have read it. So this is the reason why the show. Those who fail to study history are doomed to repeat itself, as always. So let's get into it. You cannot uninvent guns. You cannot uninvent violence. But you can prevent by being prepared. Number one. Money for schools. Security versus prison. In 2015, 45 states reported a total of state expenditure of prisons just under $42 billion. $8 billion in California alone. Institute of Justice, 2014 schools and college spent $768 million and would be around $907 million by 2016. IHS Technology, The Nation, August 9th, 2016. 2018, Colorado passed $38 million bill to upgrade school security, police on campus. Where does the money go in the school security? So I had to dig this stuff out, and it's real fun digging stuff out that they don't want you to be common knowledge. Cameras. By 1999, 19% of schools had cameras. By 2008, 93% of schools had cameras. Great, superintendent. Can you show me a video of my child being murdered? Have a plan. 2017, 80% of schools have a plan. 70% have participated in this plan. 2017, 7 out of 10 students say police or security walk the halls. Starting to get the message. Students arrested by RSO, those are the officers in school. Special training, not anybody can do it. Stormo Daniels, Douglas, whatever that school is, that guy I don't think was properly trained. Is down by 80% since 1992. USA Today, Greg Topo, February 27th, 2018. They are finally putting money into the schools this year more than ever before, 19 years after Columbine, mind you. Myth, law enforcement will save you. By law, police do not have to save your life. Town of Castle Rock versus Gonzalez, 2005, U.S. Supreme Court, 7-2. No need for the Second Amendment or outdated. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. Battle of Athens, 1946. Athens, Tennessee. In 1946, World War II veterans used force to ensure that on this day, August 2nd, 1st and 2nd, of the local elections, every vote was counted and as cast. After the local authorities locked themselves into the jail with the ballot box, veterans gathered arms and exchanged fire with the jailhouse. On a hill above, followed by the election of the veteran slate, Wikipedia battles at Athens. Oh yeah. Police begin seizing guns of citizens. Hurricane Katrina, guns return 2008. NBC News, NRA to settle over Katrina, 10/8/2008. Outdated. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You cannot uninvent guns. You cannot uninvent violence, but you can prevent by being prepared. If firearms are muskets, not AR-15s, then of course the First Amendment is also outdated for anything that's not on a soapbox or a printing press, a press print. My bad. Note: rolling printers came out 50 years later. 1862, first Gatling gun, 58 caliber, 200 rounds a minute. 30 caliber, 400 to 900 rounds a minute. 1884. Still less than 100 years after the birth of the Second Amendment, the world's first machine gun. Almost all real machine guns have the same features or cosmetics still to this day. 500 to 600 rounds a minute. The federal government still allows you to have jets, tanks, cannons, machine guns, and other fully automatic firearms. Just got to have the money to buy these toys, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Leno's got over 100 cars and probably $500 million in that garage, but nobody's judging that guy, even though it kills hundreds of thousands of people each year. They never changed the laws, even though these things were first invented before now. Gun turn and confiscation still won't work. Guns made in dirt floor huts in the Philippines. Huffington Post, Jason Gutierrez, 04/11/2013. Palestinian Carl Gustav. A fully automatic submachine gun, homemade and impossible to stop someone from making one. The time of Israel, Carlo, 16 March 2016. Fact: America has better tools and resources than the Palestinians. England versus Switzerland. England has the most violent country in Europe. 2016, guns and knives increased 13 to 14%. Overall crime increased 9%. England, Wales, rise in murder 21%. Violence with injury 647,000. That's 0.90 out of 100. That's 1 out of 100. Violence with injury. Offenses in the year, 4.8 million, 13.75 and 100. So 13.75, they're busting something up. UK population, 65 million. UK population per square mile, 650. 66 million people in the country. The Guardian, English crime, 2016. Alan Travis, 26 August 2017. Some of that was also from Wikipedia. Switzerland, the lowest crime rate in the world. Gun control. Almost all Swiss citizens own or know how to use a firearm as young as 10 years of age. In 2011, Switzerland voted no on firearm registration. Males in Switzerland must serve at least 20, or must serve at the age of 20. All military personnel can keep their government-issued firearm when leaving the military. In 2011, Switzerland voted no on citizens with military firearms to be kept in military lockers owned by the government. You cannot uninvent guns, you cannot uninvent violence, but you can prevent by being prepared. Guaranteed human rights. Sound military, well armed and trained. Switzerland, crime 2015 with a relaxed law enforcement. With theft with violence drops 30%. Oh, no. Where are we at? We lost something here. Theft with violence drops 30%. Pickpocketing dropped 25%. Gun violence with death 0.5 out of 100,000. Population 8 million. I understand the other one 66 million, but break it down to percentage wise, it starts to get scary. The Atlantic Swiss Guns, February 16, 2008. Tenzat.com. Zoham Amatya, May 23rd, 2016. Not much crime to get more data. I mean, honestly. Switzerland, last one before I go to the next video. Switzerland we did. Okay, Australia versus New Zealand. Australian violent crimes, homicide, 1990 or 89 to 90, 1.8 per 100,000. 2013 to 2004, 1 per 100,000. Now, if you actually look at the gradual weight, it never spiked. It just stayed the same, okay? Now, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Australia has 1.8 out of every 100,000. New Zealand has 1 out of 108,000 with a 0.8 difference. Crime levels, 46% out of 100,000. New Zealand, 44% out of 100,000. Lower. Crime rate, 47th in the world. Australia. New Zealand is the 50th most violent. Murder rate, 1.3. Murder rate 1.3. Now we get into the interesting part. Murder with a firearm, 3 per million. 36th most murders with a firearm in the world. 2.53 per million. Makes them 39th for New Zealand. Police, 222 per 0.7 per 100,000. New Zealand, 0.1 out of every 100,000. That's 1 in a million, baby. Murder, 229. Murder for New Zealand, 39. Guns per 100. 15 for every 100 people in New Zealand, or I'm sorry, in Australia have a gun. In New Zealand, they have 22.6 out of every 100. So, Australia is the 41st most armed country in the world. Guess what New Zealand is? 22. That is the difference. Since the tracking of numbers started in 89 to 90, it has dropped numbers at the steady rate from 89 to 96 when firearms were turned in and is still going down at the same rate. Gun suicide went down, non-suicide went up. If non-gun suicide went up. If you look since 1980 to 1996, they were still going down. National Review, Mark Antonio Wright, October 2015. Wikipedia, crime in Australia, national muster, country versus country, New Zealand versus U.S. compare. It's real hard to get this intel out. The next one we're going to be talking about is some more, but this is the first of many for gun control, ladies and gentlemen, and common sense gun control reform and ideology and beliefs. I mean, they never looked at anything. All right, gents. Hope you're offended.